All right. Couple hiccups here, guys, but we've made it. Here we go. We're live. Okay. Ooh, sorry about the delay, guys. It was actually been a while since I have done streaming or any sort of live stream. So whole thing here was like not configured properly, and we're still shooting the video for the weekend, so I gotta set this up at the same time. We're doing two things at the same time here because otherwise it wouldn't be fun if it wasn't everything at the same time. So let me just get the angle going here. Okay, let's get the focus for this camera. And here we go. Make sure to say hello in the chat. It's good to have you guys here. It's good to be back doing live stream, and I hope you guys enjoyed. So let's go draw some characters. All right. So as I said, let me just see that the brush is right here. I think it needs to be a little thinner. Actually, I also totally forgot. We're gonna start with the outlines. Hope you guys are doing good tonight. Hey Charles, how's it going, man? Hope you're having a good evening so far. It's a pretty rainy night, at least on my side here. Hope you guys have a little bit of a better weather. And I hope you guys are all caught up on the latest videos. Sorry, I'm actually going to do this a little bit better. Hey Slim. Hey CanX. Oh, nice. Just got a new iPad. Wow. Congrats, man. Congrats. I have to say, still remember the day that I opened my first iPad. And I'm not going to lie. I had this feeling like, am I really going to use this? Am I really going to give this like the proper use? And very soon I realized that I was. So definitely use the iPad for many things. I was playing with, like, at the beginning, just like GarageBand and not a lot of drawing apps actually. So I'm curious to hear you guys' experiences. What was the first thing that you played around if you do have an iPad? Because of course, when I started playing with the iPad, there was no Procreate. There were a few apps, but nothing as cool as Procreate. Thank you. Yeah, I know. The iPad is such it's just like a really, really great tool. And the possibilities are just becoming endless now. Like like I'm not even kidding. Like the possibility that beforehand to do professional illustration, you would always have to have different kind of a different set of tools. Like you definitely needed a Cintiq, or you could do it with just, you know, a graphics tablet. I got the usual. I started, you know, just using Wacom. It's kind of like medium sized. Now I have it stored in my drawer here because I just use the iPad so much, and then I can just take it to back into the computer and so on and so forth. So the possibilities are really, really endless now. More apps are coming over. There's so much going on. There is actually big news for Windows users, actually. I'm not sure if you guys saw, heard about Microsoft's talk, where they've unveiled like a lot of new things, Surface Pros and phones and all that stuff. But in the middle of the presentation, they are actually promising that Adobe Fresco will come for the PC for Windows, which is kind of impressive, knowing that the state of those apps for Android were always like, they were okay, but the user experience was never actually that good, if we can be honest. So the fact that they are promising that soon, this could be a game changer for that demographic and that target audience. But anyways, I know it's pretty interesting. There's no date just yet, but the demo seemed like it was running actually without a lot of hiccups. I'm also curious to know, are you guys doing Inktober? Are you guys, drawing for Inktober? Are you thinking about doing it? I have to say, at least on my side, I am so overwhelmed and busy that I won't be able to do, for sure, the dailies. Like, I won't be able to do it, but maybe I can still give it a try. Let's see, are you an artist designer as a profession? So in fact, I am artist designer as a profession, but what I do on my daytime, I work at a motion graphics studio. So certainly is more geared towards animation, way more. I'm just trying to get this curve right. But there's a little bit of illustration here and there, but definitely we're talking animation way more here. So having, Ghostpaper and all that stuff certainly is at the moment like a side project of mine, something that I'm really happy to do. Oh, that's cool, man. Like, enjoying watching art is inspiring, and having an iPad to practice and have an outlet is already amazing as well. I really liked there's this like studio that I follow, and it's a pretty new studio. I actually don't even remember their name properly, but in their definition, I really liked what they were saying in their website, because basically what they said is like, they know that, having a studio and making art, we're not like doctors, we're not like lawyers, or pretty much like on doctors, like we're not saving lives, but if anything, we're adding some beautiful visuals to the world. So hopefully, there's some it's basically saying that like it's necessary as well. It can't just be art's necessary, so that people feel inspired and takes them away from whatever, maybe a hard day or a stressful day, and it's just good to see some art. I see we got, yeah, thanks, man. I see we do have we have some people on the chat, and feel free to say hello. Feel free to ask any questions about Procreate that you may have. Any questions about design as well. And I'll try my best to answer. I was doing live streaming for a while, and that was the main purpose. But there was just so much to do. I'm actually finishing up a Procreate course that I'm Still trying to get it done. It is very, very close to being done. And funny enough, is for Procreate 4, but I think it covers a lot of the ground floor of Procreate. It actually covers all the options, all the features. So once 5 comes out, if anything, I can do more like, if there is a course, which I'm really thinking about doing it would be more about the new features than something that I'm just in the process of finishing up, which is like a complete kind of guide for Procreate. So I'm gonna drop a video once I have it all done. So there's that happening. There was so much happening that I had to put a pause on live streams. But we're back. Maybe I can start doing live streams on Thursdays. I think it's a good day. It's, it's like almost end of the week, and it gives me enough time to have some stuff prepared for the weekend videos. But in fact, one thing, guys, I wanted to talk about in this in this live stream here, it's also something really important. Last week or the week before, I went to a conference, and it was a design conference, and I watched a talk by this designer called Handel, and I won't be able to, like, off the top of my head, just tell like his website or anything, but he's a really good designer. He does work more in motion design as well, and his talk was really interesting. And basically, like, once I thought about it, I realized that a lot of the talk is actually connected to this very moment right here, to like making videos and making drawings and speed paint videos and tutorials. So basically his talk was like, how can you make award-winning work? How can you make something that it's going to like take you far? And he was laughing. He was like showing the first couple slides and saying like, I'm gonna show you 7 steps to how to make award-winning work. And everybody on the audience was just like laughing and like thinking like, is this for real? Is this like a joke, or what's happening here? And as he went on, he was just talking about the thing about, to make award-winning work, what does it take? And of course, it's a lot of things that we all know, but it's about hard work and paying attention, being like, observation, iteration, like changing things and all those things. But he basically went on to say that to make award-winning work, you have to shift the way you view this very same thing. Basically, instead of focusing on the awards, instead of thinking about, I'm gonna make this drawing and it's gonna give me that trophy at the end of the day, you have to enjoy the process of making this very same drawing. The process is the award. And that's what he was talking about. And I thought it was really, really interesting, because it is like, that's why I'm making this video right now. That's why I make the videos that I like to make, because it's the process. It's when I show like a tutorial for you guys and something clicks in your mind, or like you realize like, oh, that's how you do that. That to me is the award in this channel. Like it's being able to tell you guys about something and you learning something that helps you in your designs. The award, it's not like the number of followers. It's not like, anything. It's the process. And once you enjoy the process, you actually, this is not a chore. Whatever you're doing is really like, it's not hard work anymore. If you know what I mean. It's a different kind of mindset. So, of course, that at the end of the presentation, everyone was like laughing again, like, but we all got it. Like, it was quite clear that what many focus on, that, you know, I'm gonna get this, and I'm gonna get this award, and this award is gonna make me happy, but it's about the process. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, exactly. It's the love of the craft is the reward. And that's it, man. Yeah, it's the hashtag truth. It's about loving what you do. So anyways, I thought it was a really, really cool talk. You know, those things, like, unfortunately, there's no recording of that talk, but at least I can relay the content of that message. And that's what it was about. So if anything, and that's one of the things that I want to try to start making. By the way, guys, also another thing, like Procreate 5, drawing curves is so much better, but because it's beta, I've been trying to not rely on making my illustrations on 5 at this very moment, because you really never know what's going to happen. Like, you know, it's beta, so I'm just going to, I'm shooting videos for like new features and all those things. Then of course I use the Procreate 5. But for the illustrations here in this channel, I'm gonna stick to 4 until 5 fully comes out. But what I was going to say, and that's like part of, oh yeah, I don't think they're gonna change it too much, Slim. I think if anything, they're adding more features, and there's a lot of good things. But what I want to say is that I want to be able to also make videos that, if anything, they offer like a little bit of this message too. I want to make something that is like motivational too, or like just to get people. Sometimes you can get stuck not with technical aspects of drawing or techniques or tips and tricks, but you can be stuck like with career advice, or with having like some kind of a trouble that you can't figure it out, or like maybe your friends, they might not have, you know, they can't help you at that very moment, because maybe they are actually with other careers, they're busy doing other things. So I really want to help with that as well. Oh wow, hey man, it's good to see you, dude. Josh is here. Motivation is 100% of the way. Josh, it's so good to see you, man. I watched a lot of your videos, of course. Like, I'm subscribed. This is really cool to have you here, man. Wow. Welcome, big welcome to Josh. So yeah, another thing that I was like really thinking lately is there's like 3 common mistakes that people, like illustrators, they do, and those things are like so cliche or simple. But here's mistake number 1. I see like a lot of people getting excited about like, oh, I want to do this illustration, I want to work for this client, and they forget to ask questions. It's like, as funny as this is, like, this is like a big truth. People forget to ask questions, and questions are, what are you looking for? Like, you know, on a deeper level, not just like on a superficial level. Like, of course, like, you probably have an idea of what the client wants, but like, what are they really trying to achieve? And all those questions. And another question that is so huge that I always forget to, not forget, but I didn't really ask that question at the very beginning, is when you have, like, say, like you just got a commission to make an illustration or make a website, like design, animation, anything. This can be like anything in the creative world. And so you get the job, and a lot of people ask, like, so what is it? And you get all these definitions from client. But then, actually, I need this shape separated. But then people don't ask the question, like, what is this job not about? And that is so huge. And I'll tell you why it's huge. It's because we all like to impress. We all like to, you know, getting whatever we need to do. And then we want to surprise by showing other references, by showing new references and new things. So, that's one of the good things. One of the good practices of a designer is to not just take what the client has told you, but then to also provide new ideas and fresh ideas. So basically what I'm trying to say is that one of the new ideas that you're thinking about, or one of the things you want to add to the job, is also maybe something that he doesn't want you to do, like he or she. So it's really important to ask, what is this job not about? Or like, what is this not about? Like what this is not. And people will say, well, if something is supposed to be, let's say, for example, it's a commercial for the health system. And then you come up with references and they're like, maybe they want to steer away from the red color, from like red and danger. Even though it's health system, it could be like blood related in some way. But it's really important that you get these answers, because it's going to make your life so much easier when you know what the job is not about. Maybe I went too long with this explanation, but I think you guys get the point. By knowing what things are not about, leaves more space for you to figure it out what the thing that you're doing is about. So that's one thing. And there's more stuff like that. And I think that making videos about those subjects are also really important. So I'm also curious to hear your thoughts. Like, what do you guys think about, if you are doing any kind of work, any kind of like illustration work, or even if it's not about illustration, if you guys have any tips, because I find it important. And there's more things to it. It's like part of a bigger list, but I really just wanted to say at least like those two things. A lot of people really forget to ask the questions. And then there's that feeling when you present some work. Oh man, hey. Oh yeah, I know, Josh. Thank you. I think what happened was, well, it's really funny because I was actually watching your video, Josh, how you were just saying about that you blew up once you made a video about, I think it was unboxing the iPad, and everything kind of changed for you. And I think you were about 800 subscribers or something. Maybe I'm mistaken, but I think you said that it was about your unboxing of the iPad. But what I wanted to say is that I have a similar story, but I was around 800, 900, or maybe I actually had just hit 1,000. And I'm on the website, I'm looking for just, browsing, and I see Procreate 5 is out, or like the coming soon thing on their website. And I'm like, oh my God, this is huge news. This news is like humongous, right? Because the whole channel that I've been making videos, and your tool as well, like we're all using Procreate. So I knew I had to make a video about it. So I think that's what propelled the channel, was like talking, I started doing tips and tricks, and that really helped the channel, not just drawings, but tips and tricks. And then when I made that Procreate 5 video, it did get quite a good reception. So I was then invited to be part of the Procreate 5 beta from the guys behind Procreate, Savage Interactive, and things just started to happen, which is great. Oh, I think my camera, oh, that clip just ended, but we still got juice in the battery, so let's keep going. The drawings that I make stream sessions that I need to edit are always the worst because they're so long and there's so many cuts that I have to do, but they're also the most fun because I get to talk to you guys. So after making that video, yeah, things started to happen. So in fact, what I guess the conclusion is that you really shouldn't stop making videos. And for some people, it may take a week. For some people, it may take an year to actually to get momentum and make the video. That's the video that's gonna set you forward. And to me, like, it was a good 6 months, more or less. But it's funny because when I saw your video, Josh, and I was like, oh man, like I've already opened my iPad. I can't do like an unboxing of the iPad. It's not gonna be that video is not gonna be the one that's going to propel my channel forward. But it just so happens that I found out. Also, my friend, a good friend of mine, told me about the Procreate 5. And I was like, I gotta make a video about this. Yeah, Procreate just keeps getting better and better. Please don't ever become a subscription service. I know. No, I don't think they will. Because during the one of the biggest announcements of Procreate 5, which was at the Lightbox Beta exhibition, their biggest ad was just one big word, like huge word, and it said unsubscribe. And at the beginning, when I read that first, I was like, what are they talking about? And then very quickly, like, I just connected. I was like, wow, this is a huge like message for Adobe, because they're, because for me, like, I wasn't even thinking about that, but like it's a huge thing, the subscription service. Then the video that I made about Adobe Fresco, you guys had like such like a reaction because I asked the question, how do you feel about subscription service? And we have to there is one thing that we have to acknowledge, is that Adobe is a professional solution for creative services. Like, they're making Photoshop for many years. They're making all these softwares for so many years. And like a lot of people are like getting this very strong reaction because it's an app for the iPad to cost like a monthly rate. It's pretty insane. So I think that Adobe really needs to think about, they can't just do that for apps. And that's what Procreate quickly realized. So Procreate is releasing this update. It's completely free for people who bought, Procreate the very first time. And there's even more. If you bought Procreate, like if you have Procreate 4, I'm not too sure here because I would have to go into the app store. But Procreate used to be $6.99, and I think now Procreate's going to be $10. So for the fifth version. So if anything, Procreate is going a little bit more expensive. But what I'm trying to say is that if you bought Procreate before, maybe even now it's still $6.99. Like, I don't know. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm not going at the moment to the App Store, but I'm pretty sure you bought it for cheaper and you're still getting the update for free. So I do find that quite amazing. But also I wanted to say, like, Josh, if you're still there, man, if you're saying that I'm blowing up, man, you're over 100K. So major congrats to you. Like, this is it's truly amazing, man. You must have, I don't know if it already arrived at your place. The famous YouTube, like, little sign. That is super awesome, man. Who knows? Who knows if one day I'll get to see one of those. But I'll keep making videos, guys. So yeah, in a nutshell, it's not easy making a channel, having a channel, but it's very satisfying to go through the process. Yeah, Charles, I can't support Adobe. I'm happy if that's the case. Yeah, I know. I mean, I know you're talking about Procreate before. So, yeah, it's too much to charge a monthly thing for an app. At least I find, like, you're already getting, like, the thing is, the problem with this discussion, and I know what Adobe will say, is that Adobe will say it doesn't cost a thing for people who are Adobe, who have Adobe subscriptions. But they're so huge that, like, you need to have the right Adobe package. Some people have, like, I think it's the photography one, and it doesn't, like, Fresco doesn't come with the photography one. Or, like, maybe it's the Photoshop one that doesn't offer Fresco, like, stuff that kind of doesn't make sense at the end of the day. Like, it's so crazy. And so yeah, basically, we're like, the discussion, I know what Adobe will say. They'll say, like, it's free, but it's not. It's crazy. Anyways, that being said, not to try to defend them, but, you know, it's one more option for iPad users. Do I mean it gets worse? Are you saying, like, it gets worse? Sorry, I'm trying to understand for which part, but basically Adobe, they're like a behemoth. So I hope that they see the reaction, and I hope that they see the reaction that people are having for Fresco, and they do change. That they make changes to this pricing. And what's even crazier is, like, at least for iOS users. Oh yeah, the packages, yeah. Yeah, it gets worse, exactly, because if you don't have the right package, you don't get to have Fresco for free. So it gets worse. Anyways, so what I was just saying about the Windows thing is that they don't have Procreate, so they don't have a lot of options. For them, having Fresco it's gonna be like, at least they have something. Wait, am I recording? Yes. So anyways, pretty crazy. I'm actually finishing the line work. There's not much left. So it is exciting times. Yes, it is Procreate for life, but at the same time, it is exciting times that we have Fresco, Procreate. I've seen that there's quite a few of you, like, asking comparisons about Procreate and Rough Animator. So I know that I wanted to do a little comparison video. To be honest, it's kind of unfair. If you're watching the stream, I can already tell you that for animation, of course, Rough Animator is going to win, because the name of the app itself says everything. It's geared towards animation, whereas Procreate 5, it's an illustration and design app that has some animation features, and now has an animation assistant, which for sure is going to help you out. But it's unfair to compare Rough Animator with Procreate 5. But there's still, like, quite a few of you asking about how do they match up, and that's something I've been thinking about in the back burner, but who knows. So at least to end the, oh, is this your style or is this client-driven art that you're currently creating before eyes? So this is, sorry, I think I've mentioned this at the beginning of the stream. This will be the Saturday video. So that's actually my art style. And what I'll do is, that's why I got two cameras. I'm not sure if you can see that, but you probably can. You probably see some lights too. And I'm sorry about the lights. I also haven't explained this, but these lights are setting the stage for this camera who's shooting top down. This camera shooting top down is what I make the videos that you see on my channel, the speed paint videos. So right now we are doing a live stream so that I have a chance to talk to you guys. And at the same time, I'm shooting the video that goes up on Saturday. Because if I don't do that, like basically I go to work tomorrow and tomorrow's already Friday, geez. So it's a pretty tight schedule. Let me just say that. So that's why we're doing all here at the same time. Actually, let me just, oops. But to also answer that question, I've been really liking to play with this art style. And there's one thing, yeah, you can ask in Spanish. Like, in fact, I'm actually, guys, I'm from Brazil. Like, I was born in Brazil and I came here like way later in my life. So I actually understand Spanish. So there's one more good thing about these live streams. You can ask questions in Spanish and I'll probably be able to understand. But anyways, what I wanted to say, oh my goodness, what was I going to say that now I'm starting to forget? Oh yes. So there is one thing. There you go, Darth Vader. Hey Darth Vader, how's it going, man? Yes, the Brazilians. Estamos aqui, estamos aqui. One thing that I wanted to show to you guys. And I'm just gonna, oh, actually you're looking through this camera for a second. I thought you were looking through this top down. But I've set up folders on my iPad. And these folders are every 2 months. I create a new folder. So January, February, and March and April, and so on and so forth. What I mean by that is that I created these folders and I keep all of the drawings of those 2 months. I keep it in that folder. And then I told myself that I was going to draw, because of course there's this channel, the channel's the Ghostpaper channel. I told myself I was going to draw for 1 year, which is this year. So we're still getting there. And every 2 months I go back into the folders and I look at the stuff that I've been making and I see the evolution. And that's the other thing about sticking to something. It doesn't need to be, I have to say, it doesn't have to be Inktober. And why is it? Why is that? Because making drawings every day can be quite a lot. Like, you know, just having your daily life, like if you have your work, if you have your schedule, you have to take care of your kids. There's so many things you have to do. You know, you're going through school, maybe you have a job. So like making a drawing every day is already like quite a lot. Like, let's be honest. So I told myself, even for this channel, that I wouldn't be able to do a drawing every day. Hey, Red Owl, how's it going, man? Good to see you here. Congrats on 1,000 subs, man. You finally did it. Here's, if you guys haven't seen Red Owl, make sure to check his channel. He's got some really good illustrations as well. So make sure to check it out. But what I was just saying, yeah, so I set myself for this like year-long challenge. Wait, let's see. I'm always having problems. Oh, yeah. So to choose colors, what I can say, you know, there are some really good websites. Mishi, you probably heard about Color Hunt, which is Gaucher's color website. But the biggest thing that I can tell you, just please keep this in your mind, is a general rule that's called 60, 30, 10. Okay? What is that? Choose at least, but let's just say 3 colors. One color is going to be 60% of your illustration. Second color is going to be 30%. Third color, 10%. The third color is accents only. It's only going to be here and there. And once you do it, I'm even going to show you this, but actually, I keep forgetting that. Oh no, I do have the capture of the iPad. What am I thinking? My goodness. You guys can see the screen. So this illustration, for example, which is something, you're welcome, Red Owl. You're welcome, man. You deserve it, dude. You worked a lot for that. So take a look at this, looking at the screen right now. This illustration right here is mostly, let's call it like vanilla. I don't know how to properly describe this color, or cream. 60% that color, 30% white, 10% green. So why is it pleasing? It's because the green is hitting the corners of the illustration. The white is kind of like all around it, and the color with the most color has tones. So it has a little bit bright, has a little bit of a darker tone, but it's the same color. So this is the best tip that I can give you about choosing color. Of course, just got another subscriber, Max. Thanks for subscribing. Of course, you can get into, I don't have the Procreate's, what's it called? Procreate's sample drawings here, which those are the ones that come with Procreate. They have like amazing color palettes and they're really like elaborate. But in my art style, I do use a minimal color palette, and I think it's a good thing to start with a minimal color palette and build from there, because it can be like quite daunting. So I hope this helps with your question. Try to remember the 60, 30, 10 rule. And then another good tip that I can give you is that if you need to use 5 colors, for example, yeah, no worries, no worries. If you need to add 2 more colors, you just break this sequence. So it's gonna be 50, let's say 50, 30, 20, 10. And you keep working with that formula. Okay, let's see. Question in Portuguese. So, yes, vectors in Procreate. If there is a possibility to work in vectors in Procreate. That is a really interesting question. As you can see, my art style, like let me open another one. Another good example here is this one. If I showed you this, like people would say, wow, did you make this in Illustrator? And yes, I could totally have done this in Illustrator. But Illustrator, when you go to do this and you're clicking on every Bezier and like clicking, it's so, how can I properly explain this? It's so harsh. É muito duro trabalhar no Illustrator dessa maneira. Like, I'm sorry, I just had to say in Portuguese, but it's very like, it's not artistic. It's really, it's hard to actually make like nice curves, like from the get-go, like thinking like you want to work like more free. And that's what I like about Procreate, is that you can make quick shapes. So, and that's what I do. That's why my art looks like this, is because I'm not really drawing a lot with the free shapes, like not like this, but rather I just draw a line and I get a line here. And then when I click edit shape, I still get these Bezier points, which are just like vectors. So I've actually really liked, and I do like working in Procreate because of that, because it allows me to have the freedom of drawing like this initial shape right here. And then it also allows me to then tweak the shape with the Beziers. For example, this curve here, if I click edit shape, I can then like do a little bit of this. And I have to say, there's just one more software that I've seen that it works just like that. And it's actually Adobe Animate. It used to be Flash. So on Flash, it's vectors, and you still can draw as vectors. But when you drag the line, you can tweak lines like that. It's a little bit, it's not as simple, but it works with a very similar premise. So I hope that answers the question, because that's why basically I use Procreate. Actually, let me try to make this. It's super cool, man. I was like thinking for a while, and I tried Affinity Designer. I tried some other apps. But at the end of the day, I really thought that Procreate was giving me the most freedom. I'm actually quite happy for today's streams, guys, because we're answering quite a lot of questions. It's been very productive. We had Josh here just now. Not sure if it's still there. So it's been really good. I might keep it having some Thursday sessions. But let me know if you guys have more questions. For example, another really good thing, Darth Vader is still there. Like, I can draw a line and it's still quick shape, but if I press one finger on the canvas, this has 15 degrees increments. So there are like so many tools on Procreate that help you draw lines or shapes that look like vectors. And then on top of everything else, you can still save this. You can still save this and work in Illustrator if you want to take it to Illustrator. Wow, now I'm trying to understand this one in Spanish. This one's a little harder. I know that it means that you started to work in Procreate recently and you really like it, but I believe I just don't get the last part. No worries, Daniel. Thanks for the compliments. I hope that you were here like earlier. Like we shared like a lot of things. I talked to you guys about one of the talks that I saw from a designer, Handel. His name is Handel, and how he was talking about the process. And I found that talk really, really inspiring. Then there were some tips about Procreate itself, some kind of career advice. If you are illustrating, to always remember to ask questions. It's many things we shared today. That's what I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying to give you guys good information. Wow, it's gonna be hard. Hey, how's it going, man? Mustafa. Welcome to the stream. It's another good friend who left. Oh, have a good night too, Charles. Good night, man. You guys have been really, really nice. That's like, honestly, I can only say thank you, like, for all the things with the channel. It's been amazing. And yeah, we're almost done here with the line work, and then I'm just gonna throw some colors. And let's see if we can do the shading as well. I've been slacking, guys. Need to pick up the pace here. I think we're doing good. I'm really happy that you guys showed up tonight for the stream. There's so much to cover still for Procreate. There's so many new features on 5 that I still need to make videos about, that those are going to be next week. There's color dynamics. There's color dynamics. What else? The brush menu. My goodness, there's so much to talk about. Pretty crazy. Okay, so we have all of our line work done. It's time to do some magic. Gonna rename this to line work, actually. That's gonna be a reference layer, which is one of my most played tutorials on the channel, is about the reference layer. So, oh, I said I wouldn't chance illustrators for my English. No. Oh, you have a tattoo of one of the tools. Wow, that is so cool. Which one? The arrow, the selection tool? When is Procreate 5 being released? So that is a secret behind many doors that I wish I knew. What I can say is like end of year. That's what they said. So here's a couple things to know. First, that iPadOS 13 has been released, and Procreate 5 would only come out after the iPadOS. So that's being released. So one of the big locks for Procreate 5 has come out. So that being said, when I got the beta invite, I believe that I got something for around 90 days, I would say, which is 3 months. So it does sound like a fair chunk of time. So I don't know, guys. The thing is, like, I don't really know when Procreate's going to release, but I was thinking it would be November, but now I'm starting to think that it might be December. And I wish it was sooner. Definitely wish it was sooner. But we will see. So what I'm doing here right now, if you guys have not yet seen this video, make sure to, on the channel, on the section of tutorials, Procreate 5 tutorials, there's a tutorial for reference, how to fill layers in Procreate. And this tutorial is all about reference layer, which is what I'm doing right now. This is not some kind of a magic trick. This is actually what you can do in Procreate. When you have all of your outlines into one layer, you can do this that I'm doing right now, exact thing that I'm doing right now. So I'm just breaking up in layers, but I don't have to painfully like paint things. I can just drag them, sorry. So again, if you haven't seen this video, oh, thanks, Red Owl. That's really nice, man. I know, I feel like the channel has definitely grown quite a bit, which is amazing. And you just gotta keep going, right? Like, don't stop creating content, keep making videos. It's good to, oops. It's good to like listen to your audience too, and just keep having some fun. I actually really liked her hair white, to be honest, but I will try black because I'm realizing that's gonna make the glasses disappear. All right, so we need to put a background here. Okay. All right. Um, hey Red Owl, what how are you doing these days? Like, are you working on something? What's your next video? Like, do you have any ideas? Do you want to do more drawings? There's a lot of people that I was talking, some other YouTubers. I believe they haven't been uploading as much lately. Maybe they got busy. Okay, there's a few more here. Okay. Oh, I forgot. To add a line right here. More or less. Okay. All right. I have a tattoo. I don't know the name in English. I think it's the pen tool. Oh, that's cool. And like, if you don't mind me asking, do you why the pen tool from all of the tools? Because is it because of the drawing aspect, or like, is it the pen like in the vectors, or is it the pen like in the brushes? I'm just curious because, you know, the concept of tattoo, something that you're going to carry with you for a while. So some people make tattoos with a meaning, some people make tattoos just for fun. Okay, I may need to, what am I forgetting? There's this piece here. And I think we have an off-white. Okay. I'm gonna have to put all these guys into a group. Fill. Oops. I need to take a look at one thing here, guys. Okay. I have a little reference layer that I have here. Yeah. 4 colors. So when I usually make my illustrations, I do a color blocking, which I've done that in other streams. I've done just the color blocking part and then shot the video after. But this one is just making the real thing. All right. Oh, shoot. Well, I guess I did those 2 parts together. So it is what it is. Nice landscape illustration. That's really cool, man. Sounds awesome. All right. What are we on time? I need to draw some really harsh shadows here now. So let's see if I can make this quickly. Actually, before that, I'm gonna merge, duplicate, merge. Turn this off. It's gonna be shadows. Okay. Are you still using mostly Procreate, Red Owl? Or have you moved on to another app? Have you tried Fresco? Are you thinking of trying Fresco? Actually, I'm going to invert this shadow. Interesting. I think I had it right before. The panda works with vectors. Oh, I see. Oh, wow, La Pluma. That's such a cool name. It's a much cooler name than Portuguese and English together. That's awesome. Oops. Trying to make some nice curves here. Jesus. Yeah, they have these like live brushes. They're really, really cool. And one of the guys that does some really, really interesting Photoshop brushes, his name is Kyle Webster. He's basically the guy behind the brushes in Adobe Fresco. So if you like, if you haven't heard about his name, he's super well known. Sorry, I'm still not happy about this shadow here. So the fact that he's behind Fresco's brushes, I'm sure that like Adobe Fresco is still going to impress us. Like, I'm not even joking. I feel like they are taking all of the feedback, which was quite negative because of the monthly price. So I feel like they're gonna take all that feedback and they're going to do something pretty crazy and competitive in the future. And which I still hope they do, to be completely honest. But yeah. Wonder if I should make these shadows really big, but I don't think that is the case. No, it is not the case. Okay. Cool. So anyways, those live brushes, it was part of a, oh my goodness, I'm trying to remember, like it used to have a name. I think it was like Project Gemini, something like that. That became Adobe Fresco. And it's something that Adobe has been hinting on conferences and places like that. And the crowd was always like really impressed by the features that they were showing and those like live brushes. to be completely honest, I haven't even given a proper chance to if they want to compete with Procreate, they must change so exactly, they need to change the system. I don't think exactly they're not gonna go too far this way. All right, or it doesn't look like they're gonna go too far this way. Anyways, if they don't realize that, what can we do? I think they will. I would be surprised if they don't read those comments from all of the reviews. To be honest, even like Kyle Webster himself like commented on one of my reviews, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna see some of the feedback. Right now, guys, I'm actually just drawing some shadows, by the way, sorry. That's what you see right here. Yeah, the hair is already black. Okay. Let's keep going. Anyways, even when you go to the app store, you can look at Fresco's ratings, and I think it's not as high, to be completely honest. It's something like 3 stars already, like first week. Something will happen, man. Anyways, let me know if you guys have any questions about Procreate, if you guys have any questions about process. Like, for example, if you want me to speak a little bit on like how do I get my inspiration, usually what I do, there's two very interesting things, or like schools of thought. Some people think that you should not look online because there's already too many references online. Like, there's too many good things. Like, you know, you go to Behance, you go to Pinterest, you go to all these places, and like there's so many good things out there that discourages people who are trying to come up with illustrations or ideas. And it's good to disconnect. it's good to like trust your own creativity. So that is undeniable. But I really believe, and I'm telling you, like this year, because I did this challenge to myself that I was just saying about like drawing for the whole year and looking at my drawings, seeing like the evolution, if anything, if I was getting any evolution. So after I started doing that, I had to look at things to just see what was happening on like Pinterest and Dribble and like websites like that. And I started noticing that my references in my mind were also growing, like of things to illustrate, things to come up with, like ideas, because I was just looking at illustration more and more and more every day. So I do believe that it's good to look at illustrations from others, like get inspiration, save your references. There's nothing wrong in like being inspired. What doesn't help you as much is to straight up copy someone's work, like to just put it like, you know, the transparent paper on top and like literally trace. That's just like you're practicing a technique. But if you get yourself inspired by someone's work, there's really no problem in that, as long as you do a thing that a lot of people don't do, which is to combine. So you can combine ideas by mixing two ideas into one. So if you get a reference that you really like, try to mix it up with another idea, and all of a sudden this thing will be original because you've combined two ideas. So anyways, in my process, I usually like start looking at the beginning of the week for ideas. Then I sketch on a little piece of paper, maybe like two options, and I decide on one, because I really can't afford to spend too much time. Time is really precious. You know what is also precious is my memory card on this camera. Like, oh my goodness, I'm still not done this illustration, but I'm getting there. I'm just finishing up these shadows. So I do go to what are my favorite sites? I would say Dribble a lot, Pinterest, Behance. But when you look at Behance, man, the stuff there is just so good. It's crazy. Lately is just okay. We're almost there. This layer will be overlay. 100's pretty good. I love working with overlay layers. Just turn it on and off so you can see the difference here. Like the drawing really pops. So another tip is like make sure to play with layer modes. The last thing I would love to do. Oh, I didn't separate, of course. Goodness. wanted to get the chair. I'm just gonna do it quickly. I choose like a, oh, we can do it with the reference layer, yes. Just gonna get a quick mask for the chair. Okay. And get some wood going. And now we're just gonna turn off sketch, colors. I think, sorry, there's one last thing that I want to do. I'm going to select this. I'm going to fill. All the way here. Bring here more or less. Get some shadows on the chair itself. Could also have done clear, but I just used the those have to be we'll leave it just for the back. Or not. I think it's confusing. All right, guys. I had a hard time overcoming for the first few months to start drawing. Yeah. Exactly. It makes you less confident. Can make you less confident. That is for sure. It's really important to take one drawing at a time. Not even one day at a time, but like one drawing at a time. And that's it for this illustration. I do want to show you. That's okay. So now that we're here, I have that in the can. I'm just gonna pause this video here at the top. This is what I want to show you guys. So when I started, I was doing these like really like cute, simple drawings. And that's when I started on Procreate, just so you can see, like, it was this like lonely boy, like with this really like minimal color palette. And that's kind of like how I started. So then I started doing the monthly or bi-monthly thing. And one of the first illustrations I did was this like outer space kind of mosaic. It's the first video in the channel and it's cool, but it's still like, I was still trying to find my voice or my art style. So I was doing like these like little icons and things like that. And then jumped over a little bit and I started doing like more stylized characters, more geometric characters, which is something I really like to do. So I kept working on that and started getting somewhere interesting, like when I started doing this one. So then I think I was somewhere over here and I think I did this character and I thought like, wow, it's really, really cool, but I should have put outlines. So I kept going and going and going, and I think that's at some point, that's when I actually did this guy, which is so basically like the art style that I found, like it's not even that long ago. So I was drawing this on the train, and I got to a point where I was like, I think I should start using outlines for my work. And that's when I made this one, then I made this one, and that's when I made this guy here as well. So you just gotta keep going. Like for me, even for myself, I'm still at the beginning of my journey. I'm like, it's not even the first year of the channel, so there's so much to happen still. So even for myself, like I can honestly say, like there's still a lot to discover. So anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. It's been over an hour. That's kind of like more or less what I wanted to make, like an hour stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you please, if you did enjoy, please leave a like to the stream. Like that would be hugely appreciated. Subscribe to the channel for more tips and tricks, speed paint videos, and news about illustration. And as I say in my videos, this is all to make you guys better digital illustrators. Or if you're just hobbyists, that's also amazing. Just getting information and feeling inspired is already more than enough for me as a message for you. So again, thanks guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao guys.